Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my craft room. This is just a quick little tour in response to Pam's request for some ideas for how to store some of her craft items, namely 6x6 designer series paper, her embossing folders, her dies, things of that nature. And I thought the easiest way to describe what I do is to show everybody. And this is kind of a repeat. I know I've done this before, but it always is nice to have a refresher and an update. So over here in my shelving, I have a few different items. On this shelf here, I have the Your Way rectangles. And these are really good size for just about any area of your home, whether it be your craft room, your master closet, your bathrooms for towels and toiletries and things of that nature. Really just your coat closet, anywhere in your home. But I use these in my craft room for a variety of things. This one here, for example, holds 6x6 designer series paper. I have quite a lot in here, as you can tell. So I can fit 2 rows side by side. And there's a lot in there, and that's not even the start of my collection. So this holds quite a bit. I did add the optional covers to all of mine to keep the dust and the light out. You can personalize the front if you wish. If you don't want to add personalization, on the reverse side, the back side is a chalkboard front. And you can just write on whatever the contents are, and that way you can change it up or use it for any use. I hate my handwriting, so you will never see me write anything that sits out on display. So I just chose to do the personalization option. This one holds what it says, 6x12 designer series paper. So this is packs of paper that I cut in half. I made dividers for them. And this is all old retired stuff. So you can see that there's a lot in here. I can cut it down further to 6x6 if I wish, but I wanted to keep some at 6x12 for scrapbooking and boxes and other 3D projects such as that. So I do have quite a bit that is half sheets. This next one over here, I kind of had I personalized it with odds and ends so I could use it for anything. Right now it's housing some Throwback Thursday projects I've been working on for my Stampin' Up page. And so I've got some cards that I've started making, some stamp sets that coordinate with some designer series paper I was using, some ink pads, dies, things of that nature. But what I discovered today when I opened this box is it actually fits 8.5 by 11 cardstock laying down on the flat. And I didn't realize that way back when. So that was kind of a neat little discovery. Then down on the next shelf, I have some of our fold-in files. I love these for a lot of different things. As the name describes, it holds hanging files. So you can either reinforce these edges with some of those report covers, the little plastic report covers, snap them off to length and put them on to reinforce and make the file folders slide more easily. I've had trouble, believe it or not, trying to find some of those plastic report covers with those sturdy little, I don't know, whatever they are, bindings. So I haven't done that yet, but that's what I've seen a lot of people do. I just wish I could find them. So you can hang your file folders there, or you can just have your manila folders just stacked up inside. There's also front elastic pockets. I have another one over here that just houses some ribbon that I had separated out for some projects, but that's not its permanent home. I also have a zipper pouch down here that holds my Stamparatus, as it says, for quick grab and go. So it's got my Stamparatus in it. It has the extra plates for the Stamparatus. It has an extra foam mat for the Stamparatus, and it has the oh my gosh, what are these? The pad of papers for putting down inside your Stamparatus. And then this is an extra, I think this is that extra mat. So this holds quite a lot. This is the zipper pouch. And next to that, I have a Deluxe utility tote. This is larger than the large utility tote. I also have a cover for it to keep the dust off. And inside that, under the cover, if I can get it off, it's hard to record and work with one hand. I have 3 fold-in files inside of there. And this holds all of my retired cardstock. So it's easily within reach. It's kind of in rainbow order. I don't know. It's in my kind of rainbow order anyway. And with the dust-free, the dust cover, it keeps it nice and protected. And at the same time, it's accessible to me. So I have that. So that's the Deluxe utility tote. It is super heavy when you load it with paper. So I don't suggest that you want to carry it loaded with paper, but for storage, it's perfect. I also have a hanging traveler here. It's currently empty, but I have it personalized with my Stampin' Up! Call name on it. And I use this when I'm traveling to workshops or doing home classes, because I can really pack a lot into it. If you're interested in learning more about this, I have multiple videos here on the page showing you more about what you can pack in it. But you can hang it. It's really meant for traveling and taking toiletries and things of that nature, but I love it for my traveling stamping because I can fit my Stamparatus in here if I want to, plus all of my blocks, plus the adhesives that I need. But like I said, there's a lot of videos here on this group that show this in a variety of different uses, or you can always message me for more details and I can send you the links if you can't find it. So that's Hanging Traveler. Then over here on the floor, I just have to move. Hold on, gotta move. I have the Your Way Cube. And this one holds 12 by 12 cardstock. And again, I put the dust cover on it because I want to keep light away from my paper. I have a lot of direct sunlight in this room, if you can't tell by the hideous glare and everything you're getting. Excuse me, but I have a lot of direct sun in here. I have a lot of dust. I have a lot of dog hair, and I want to keep it all out of my papers and my products. So I love these covers. So this is my 12 by 12 cardstock. As you can see, it holds a lot of cardstock. And I also have one across the room that hosts all of my 12 by 12 designer series papers. So that's that one. And again, the more you put in it, the heavier it's going to be. So I suggest if you use these items for things like cardstock and paper, that you store it low to the ground and on something stable so that you don't have any issues with weight. But they do pack out a lot. So that's my little warning to you. Then over here, I think I'm going to have to move this. Hold on, let me see if I can roll this. I have one of those Raskov carts from IKEA. And this is loaded down with the Get Creative cases. Now the Get Creative cases, they were being phased out into the vault. So right now we have 2 patterns available. We have the feathers, and then I think it's Origami Pop or something like that is the other name. I love these. I think I have 8 of these in my craft room. Something like that, because I use them for everything. So if you want something that's good for, your 6x6 papers and your embossing folders and your dies, this is the way to go. I did personalize it with the contents. You can choose not to personalize. Personalization is an upgrade. However, it all depends on how many of these you're going to have, how many you're going to need, what you're going to put in it, and if you're going to remember what's in where. I wanted it labeled so that I would know which had what. It just saves me time looking around. So this one contains my basic framelets. And I'm going to move the camera around. So this one just has things like numbers, edges, words, basic shapes, circles, hearts, stars, things of that nature, banners and bases, tags. And then the one next door, and I have to spin it around, the one next door has a little bit more detail. So it's got balloons and baby, butterflies, elements of home, fall leaves, flowers, miscellaneous, and winter holiday. Of course, how you categorize yours is all up to you. Then I have more on my cart. This cart actually holds 6 of these. So if you have a Raskov or one of the carts from Michael's or Walmart, I packed 6 onto these. So I have 3 tiers. And to make it easier to show you what's in them, I've actually put them out over here on my table. So this one contains 6x6 paper. And to maximize capacity, I did them side by side. So instead of going what I'd call front to back the long way, the way I stored my dies, to do the 6x6 paper, I went side to side. And you can see how much you can pack out. So it's not quite as much as you can pack in the Your Way rectangle, but it does still hold a lot. And it has the handles on the sides for easy carrying. And then what's nice about these two is if you're not using them for paper or something like that, there's a zipper pouch in the back that goes the full length. And it's got a clear plastic window so you can see what's in there. Buried down on the sides, there's elastic pouches as well. You just mesh ones. And then the front, the whole thing goes together with Velcro, but the front can peel down. So I actually have photos in this group where someone wanted to know if you could stack ink pads. You can stack 3 rows of ink pads. I forget how high it can go, but again, there's pictures here in the group. And if you were taking your ink pads, say to a crop or a card class or a gathering, you could stack your ink pads side by side, like I said, 3 stacks, and pull down the front, and then you would have access to all of your ink pads. Over in this one, I keep my Sizzix dies, the big red ones. They were taking up way too much space. I was forgetting what I had, and they stack up nicely so that you can read which die it is. And then I discovered I had 2 extra, and they can just lay flat right on top. Over in this one, I have embossing folders. So I have Cuttlebug embossing folders, Sizzix embossing folders, and then I have our Stampin' Up! Embossing folders. And as you can see, I can fit quite a lot in there. I did not make dividers for these, so it's just helter-skelter. But I could easily make dividers to slip in there to group them, you know, however I wanted to group them. If you have your wider embossing folders, they are going to have to go this way. So you could do 2 rows front to back the short way, like on the 6x6 Designer Series paper. So there's that one. And then over here, I have another one of the Your Way rectangles. I just knocked a bunch of stuff over. This one I labeled die cutting, and it holds my larger Stampin' Up! Sizzix dies from the old days. So there's the Bigs XLs. What are they? What other? I don't know what the other names of them are, but you know, the big heavy steel dies that we used to carry. So those live in there. And I guess that's about it at the moment. So that's just some of my storage options for, again, Pam specifically mentioned her 6x6 paper and her embossing folders. And again, over here, the way that I hold my framelits and my dies. All right. So once again, that's the Get Creative case. The Get Creative case is currently in the online extras. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a shout. And I'm going to put the links to all of these products below for you. So thanks for tuning in, and I will be here if you have any further questions. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.